When the pyramids first arrived in
Complete
this
pirate
system,
hideout.
he and I
Risk the
deciphered their
coward.
messages. His assistance was trying at times, but proved invaluable, and prepared us for what followed.
I see. That is interesting to hear. His account of these events.
This one can hardly be called a pirate lord. His name's Frisk. Just a dragged in too deep to know he's already dead. My associates have given me concerning information. Our interlopers may have found this one first. Find out who's after my goods.
Responding restricted. Is it time for the boss?
Was Brisk met his end? Well, he was lucky to have lived this long. Personally, I stay away from
Oh, I'm
these
sorry.
groups of pie. I don't
I'm
trust
Lieutenant with
anyone
the
that
powers of the
loyal.
light
Clear them out.
here. I can shoot it and I don't mind. Bullshit. Oh. Oh, you're doing that bullshit again. No, thank you. Come here! Get out of here.
So, our enemy finally steps into the light, so to speak. The Lucent Hive is searching for the relics, and Aramis's crews are overwhelmed. How interesting. These relics just became more valuable. Demand, it seems, is very high. Luck was on our side this time. But now these pests stand in our way. Oh, how unfortunate for them.
did not have to hear it from her. That was your choice.
That was not a story Aramis had any right to tell.
Did you believe that I would never find out? That no one would remember? I'm charged with preserving the history of our people.
Some history does not need to be preserved.
Like the whirlwind. So much was lost, so much we will never recover, no matter how much we search, no matter how much we remember. Is that what you wish to happen to us now?
You do not understand.
I want to understand. You will not let me.
You do not know what I know. You did not see what I saw. When I pulled you from the wreckage of a ketch, I knew that you deserved more than the world that orphaned you. I want you to look forward, not to what the whirlwind made us. You do not need to carry this history.
It is a part of me, whether I witnessed it or not. I don't want to look away, and I don't want to forget.
You do not know what you ask.
Perhaps not, but nothing good comes from refusing to face the truth.
It's a really good point, Ogre. Like, Mithrax has his reasons, but those are not good reasons for not telling his daughter.
I wanted to speak with you, Jermaine.
Whoa! What kind of books you been reading? It's been Drifter for a long while now.
Drifter, then. You have kept secrets from us since the beginning. It is unkind to withhold knowledge.
Unkindness was never my aim. Apologies, sister.
Accepted. Do you have any insight as to why the Lucent Hive are interested in the relics?
Power is freedom, and everybody's chasing it. From the biggest freaky moth monster to the lowest space pirate.
But while the Lucent Hive are loyal to Savathun, the pirates enjoy a startling degree of freedom already. They're not constrained by office or honor. They are ruled only by their own desires.
Yeah, it might look that way from the outside, but they've got to fight for everything they get. That's just survival. A meal and a bed that don't come at the end of a blade? That's freedom.
You are drawing a comparison.
Me? Look, I get it. Walking away from folks can feel like freedom. If no one's relying on you, there's no one to disappoint. No one to be disappointed by.
Now you are speaking of Mithrax. I do not judge him for who he was, but he treated me like a hatchling.
Can't really blame him for not wanting to discuss it. Shame's a hard thing to shake. Harder if you have to share it.
You are saying I should forgive him.
That's your call, sister. I'm just saying, I get it.
Aramis seeks freedom for our people. But her freedom is vengeful. She wishes to be free from her shame. She will sacrifice Elixni lives in its pursuit. And it will never end.
Thank you.
Thank you, Drifter.
Sitting here listening
You
to
know,
a conversation and just drifting
I don't
off to
hear that
Gundam
enough.
thoughts.
I greet you, Guardian. I wished to speak to you earlier, but I did not have the words. I will not apologize, as I believe the secrets of my old life were mine to keep. But I do regret. I am ashamed of my cruelty, of the things I did, the people I hurt. I thought I left it behind. But the old Mithrax is still within me. And now he has hurt my daughter. I have hurt my daughter.
Yeah, maybe.
I must set it right. I
may
was
be true,
a killer.
Ogre.
But I am a kill. I will prove to you which title I deserve.
You do it, Mithrax. Alright, Spider. Give me my garbage. Garbage, 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 garbage.
Here for a favor.
Alright, Ogre. Because you kept helping Eshi. It's my turn. I want the help. Please and thank you. Woo! Peace candy.
Until we meet again. If you want something, speak up.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So week 6. I just completed week 6, I believe.
Your latest mission unearthed another intercepted transmission. It seems pertinent to our research. Do not open the relic under any circumstance. I don't care if the whole lucent brood is outside. The darkness inside would dissolve you before you could ever wield it against the Hive. Only beings of extraordinary fortitude can withstand its energies. And we both know you're less than that.
Damn.
Retreat and fortify your defenses. Protect the relic at all costs. Reinforcements are on the way.
But they didn't show up, because I showed up and I killed everyone for the relic. Am I the bad guy? Hello there, star chart. Where am I going now? Is it back
Glad
to
I
Tetch
caught
Crash?
you, Guardian. I didn't want you setting off after Aramis without a little warning first. What's that look? You don't survive as long as me without being able to smell trouble. And honestly, kid, you stink of it.
That's not nice.
You've been cutting a swath through those pirates out there, but don't get complacent. Watch your opponent, but watch your back, too. You're going after chunks of a dead disciple of the Witness, and you've almost got 'em all. That's some serious juju. The stakes are high. That's when folks tend to get unpredictable.
The Drifter has informed me that you are a source of great knowledge regarding the darkness.
You caught the Drifter in a rare moment of truth. What is it you wish to know?
Yes, I am curious. Why do Guardians dabble in the darkness when they have the favor of the Great Machine?
You value knowledge. Know this. The light is not the sole arbiter of the truth. Just as it is not the sole dispensator of power. To flinch away from either would be a greater loss.
Guardian, you face an Elixni skilled in scrapworking. Her name is Ethics. I have engaged with her before. I doubt her tactics have changed. She hides behind traps and shanks and believes herself clever. She will not face you if she has a choice. Leave her none.
Okie doke. Take her choices. Oh my god, so many trip mines. Oh my god, I almost fell for it. Are you?
Remove her defenses and end her life.
Candy. And the red.
The old crews fear you. Fear us. They know they cannot stand in our way.
Looks like Captain Kells found his inner pirate again.
Perhaps it is what I am. And Aramis speaks the truth.
Hey, now, I didn't say that. What's that Ido said to me? Aramis will fight forever to get rid of her shame. Maybe you did that for a while, too. But then you made a safe place for the Elixni. That's what Aramis wants, and she'll never get there. What we do now matters more than who we were.
The Drifter speaks kind truths. Rizrax thanks you.
that you could greet me in the same. You told my father that we need not be enemies. This is still true. But we will always be your enemy if you serve the Witness. I do not know what it has promised you. An Elixni reborn, a Reese restored. Did it promise us a future? But I ask, do you strive for our future? Or do you flee the whirlwind? The Lucent Hive and the Witness both pose a great threat to the Elixni. But there is no greater threat to us than when we fight against each other. This division will destroy us completely. You remember the whirlwind. I do not. But I believe that the greatest treasure we lost was unity. I called for our parlay because you believe this too. You will say that House Salvation will bring unity through the destruction of our enemies. But that path does not end Eramiskel. You will never find what you are seeking. You will never undo the legacy of the whirlwind.
Good of you to visit, Captain. Seems like only yesterday I loaned you my ship. And now you're known across the system. Flashy. Not my style. It's safer in the shadows. I learned that long ago from a handsome young fellow named Rakis. He served the old crews for a time. Got double-crossed. Spent the rest of his life running. Eventually, someone claimed the bounty on poor Rakis. He called himself Spider. Savvy? Cashed in the past, bought a future. Walked away, reborn, and never looked back. Like you Guardians do. Like my dear boy Crow. Like Mithrax, pretending his old life never happened. Oh, he's changed a bit over the years, but the old fury is still inside him, somewhere. It's best he not forget that. What is your Earth fate?
I've searched for information on Nezarek in the Cryptarchy's records, but most of the primary sources from that era were destroyed. What we know from second-hand accounts is that Nezarek led the Witness's first assault on Earth, or as humans call it, the Collapse. After the Great Machine repelled the attack, Nezarek's pyramid crash-landed on your moon. Beyond that, the sources are vague. They hint at a process for harnessing the relic's power, but give no instructions. If we could replicate this ancient methodology, there's no telling what we might accomplish.
Or that could bring Nezarek back, so let's maybe not.
Guardian, you were close to securing the last relic of Nezarek, and we near the end of our mission. I have noticed no further communications between Aramis and her crews. I hope this means the worst is behind us. I did find, however, a transmission from Aramis to Ido. It was embedded in an unsecured scribe log. You may have heard it. I do not know what Aramis gains in speaking with Ido. We know the Shipstealer only acts to her own benefit. But Ido shuns me. She studies the coordinates of the pirate layers without my assistance. I have never seen her behave this way. I cannot place blame solely on Aramis's influence. My actions pushed Ido away, though I meant only to protect her. She will see that in time. She must. Unless she has already made her choice. We must end this now, before something happens that cannot be undone. Claim the final reliquary and finish this conflict. May the light provide.
The Drifter tells me that you worked closely together in the past.
Yes. When the pyramids first arrived in this system, he and I deciphered their messages. His assistance was trying at times, but proved invaluable, and prepared us for what followed.
I see. That is interesting to hear. His account of these events differs somewhat.
Differs? How? Ido, what does that mean? Ido?
Guardian, this layer is swarming with the Lucent Hive. We must not abandon caution now that our mission comes to a close.
Your presence is not necessary.
Ido, what are you doing here? Are you unharmed?
I will retrieve the last relic myself, without violence. The Hive.
Ido! Guardian, find her, please! She is my light.
Get out of here!
I believe I am close to the relic. When we have it, Aramis Kell will see the futility of her actions.
You risk yourself for her. She will never abandon her ways.
No, you both must face the past. You cannot outrun it. You cannot hide it from me.
Ido, please, forgive me.
Uh-oh. Oh no.
Stop! She protected me! Stop!
Do it. Show your daughter who you really are. She could have had everything.
Ido of the House of Light, Scribe Log Zeta 78D. At this point in the Guardian's adventures, we have had contact with a great many pirates. Each crew has a unique composition and pledges loyalty to the most powerful among their numbers. They fight for whomever promises them the most power, or the most glimmer. They adopt whatever code of honor befits them and concern themselves with little beyond the present. A friend told me that these pirates are not as free as they seem, that their lives are fueled by desperation more than their own desires. But there is still the call of the open stars. These pirates sought to possess the relics of Nezarec. What else might they hold?
Scribe Ido.
Aramis Kell? I greet you in the light.
You are young and honor the old ways. So I will speak gently. You say there are paths that never end. But these are also paths you cannot turn away from. Mizrax thinks he can. He is wrong. He and I will always be what we are. But we are not something you would wish to become. I remember the whirlwind, and we are running from it. We are running from that pain, and will be forever. You do not want this life.
Aramis.
Do not stand in my way. If we meet again, I will be the last thing you see. You and that hypocrite you call a father.
So, let me get this straight. Mithrax has Aramis at the end of his sword, and then nothing? I mean, nothing? Huh. I thought that guy still had some mean in him. Guess I was wrong. I was right about you, though. Gotta hand it to you, kid. You did a hell of a job out there.
I mean, I just smashed
Drove Aramis off, stopped
some
whatever
light
plan
wielding
the witness
hive.
had,
It's
and
not like I
brought
did
home
much
all the
with it against
pieces of
Aramis.
Nezarec. Not bad at all. Mithrax and Ido have the relics now. Don't know what those things can actually do, but if anyone can figure it out, it'd be them. Hope it's something good. Yep, nothing for you to do now but lay back in that big old pile of pirate treasure you got. You deserve it.
What pirate
And
treasure?
don't worry
I'm
about
fucking broke.
giving me my cut, Captain.
just felt nice to be a good guy again. Trust.
It's the law of Cobb. Here for a favor.
Aramiskel, again, I greet you in the light. Not as my enemy, but as my savior. You protected me from the Lucent Hive. Without your intervention, I would have died at their hands. I thank you. I was terrified. Not only of the Hive, but of you. When you arrived, I thought it was to follow through on your threat. Then you turned and raised your blade against my assailants. But that same blade would have taken the life of my father if you'd had the advantage. I am not afraid of what you are, but I am afraid of what you do. The whirlwind led to you. It led to my father, but it led to me as well. We can see a future for the Elixni beyond the pain of the whirlwind, but you think you can't be a part of it. I do not believe that. My father spared you because he saw that you could turn from a path he had once followed. I see this also. I know the futility of this, but I will say it regardless. There is a place for you here. We need not be enemies. Come home, Aramis. May the light provide.
That's really nice. It'd be pretty cool to see Aramis have a redemption arc.
If you're eager to deal death, I'm happy to help. Until we meet again.
Tale of the Shipstealer's quest is now complete. Oh, I do have the relic. Okay.
Now that we've collected all the relics, Mizraxkel and I believe that we could harness their power. To what end, we're still uncertain. While I believe in our abilities, I am concerned about the potential side effects such a process could have. An ancient dirge I discovered describes something called the Curse of Nezarek, which is rumored to drain the life of the user. Of course, I don't give credence to such superstition. Dark Age humans were comically ignorant. Still, I would rather not take the risk. My father disagrees. I suspect he wishes to redeem himself for his past wrongs, and in that, I cannot dissuade him. We will continue searching for a method to unlock the relics. Until then, the light provides.
And I guess that brings us to the end of the Shipstealer stuff for now, until something gets randomly added. Alright, thank you everyone for stopping by to see Ghost do piratey things in the Destiny, and I'll see you all around.